Hi everyone, Michelle Fixit. I have to get Big Sexy fixed because like her alarm is going off whenever I have to manually use her key. It's very annoying. Today is December 22nd, 2023, and I have to move my truck across the street, and so I figured I'd do a drive-by on Georgetown and do a little bit of stuff over there. I hope that you guys all will have a fantastic Christmas, and as soon as my phone updates, we'll be on our way. And it's cold. It's not as cold as I feel like it should be. Big Sexy says it's 40 degrees, but it's still cold. And yesterday I had my tilt table test, which it's so weird to say I'm excited, but I'm excited because I've been trying to figure out what's been going on with me since I was 19. And I knew a long time ago that I had POTS, and I have talked to numerous doctors about having POTS, which is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. And I finally, on this quest for figuring out my stuff, my new cardiologist was like, you know what, I believe you. I'm going to give you a diagnosis of POTS until we can get you in for the tilt table stuff. Because if you guys don't know, if you have some type of medical issue, unless it's something that's going to immediately end your life, and even sometimes when you have something that could be terminal, it still takes a long time to get in to see physicians and specialty doctors. So the tilt table test, which is the gold standard for absolutely concretely diagnosing POTS, that I had to wait 9 months, I think, for this appointment. It was the earliest they had available. So I scheduled it way at the beginning of the year, and I'm just now getting it done, or just now was able to get it done December 21st. So that tells you what kind of quality care you have. And it's not that I'm in some teeny tiny little area. This is for Baltimore. And because my cardiologist was in such a hurry to try to get me in sooner, because she knew based off of my historically low blood pressures and based off of symptoms and what she could personally observe while we were in our appointments, she knew I had POTS, which is why she diagnosed me with it, but it wasn't an absolute known, because it wasn't a diagnostic criteria of a, oh my goodness, my appointment started at 12:30, and the appointment was, I left the hospital at 6:30 p.m. So it's very taxing on your body to have to go through the thing, but it is the gold standard. It is a diagnostic criteria that no one will ever be able to challenge. And then I learned that I have some other stuff going on as well, which I wasn't even aware of. Some of it I wasn't aware of. So I'm just kind of like super excited where it's, yay, I feel validated, because for years and years and years I've been trying to talk to people about like what's been going on with me, and they're like, you don't understand, like, you're super productive. Like, if I'm super productive having serious issues with my physicality and I'm vocalizing that to you, how much better could I be, and how much better would my quality of life improve if my mentality and my physicality matched up? Because they haven't, and it's been incredibly difficult to have physicality and mentality not match up and be at such an early age. It's been horrible. So I'm excited. And I got kind of frustrated because like the doctor that, and there goes that bag. The doctor that did it was like, you really need to be on medication for this. And I'm like, okay, well that's nice. Like, you're telling me what's going on with me. And you're like, and we're going to fix it, but we can't fix it. And I'm just like, I require assistance. So, my cardiologist that I really like is on vacation. But even in her bit of being on vacation, I left the hospital at 6:30. She messaged me, like literally, on my chart, right after I left the hospital. She took time away from her, like, after business hours, while being on vacation, to message me. And she is a rock star, and I think she is fantastic. I love her. I'd go that far. I'd say I love this doctor. Because in her absence, with being on vacation, they had me scheduled with a different cardiologist, and I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of her. Because she didn't listen to me. Like, I feel like she was talking to horribly ill pregnant Michelle, because in her notes, like, we're talking about low blood pressure. I have hypotension. I have chronic hypotension, if there is such a diagnosis. I have like 4 different things for that. And we're talking about POTS, and we're talking about fainting episodes, and we're talking about low blood pressure that like is so low that it makes you dizzy and lightheaded all the time, and then you faint. And in her notes, she's talking about hypertension, which is high blood pressure. And one of the things that you're supposed to do if you have POTS or low blood pressure, and or, not sure, not a doctor, is upping your sodium intake. And so on her notes, she's like, decrease your sodium intake because we don't want you to have high blood pressure. I'm like, I'd be happy if I had normal blood pressure. And you're sitting here giving me things about how I need to watch out for high blood pressure. Like, I don't even get to the normal 120s. I don't want to hear this. And then, like, the other thing was I had gestational diabetes when I was pregnant with my son. And she's like, you gotta watch your stuff. And I'm like, and you're not paying attention to my notes because I am hypoglycemic, which means low blood sugar, except for whatever happened when I was pregnant with him and battling COVID and battling a lot of stuff that was going on with me, trying to carry this poor little baby. And to you, it's like she was talking to an opposite version of the problems that I'm having. So, being that I know, like, I'm very picky about doctors, and you should be too, whether you're in a teeny tiny little area or you're in a big city, I don't care where you are one of hundreds, if not thousands, of patients that they will see. That being said, you are one of one to your family and to your friends or whomever. So do your due diligence, research to your heart's content, make notes, be informed, be meticulous, advocate for yourself. I mean, my husband Kat gave me the biggest speech on all of this, where he's like, you have researched, advocated, fought, done every single thing possible, and almost broken yourself to make sure that our son gets the best quality of care, because it's true, Charlie has only seen the best doctors. You know why? Because he had some scary things going on, and I didn't want anyone to compromise his quality of life or his quality of care or living, and things got very scary for him. So he's like, if you can do that for our son, you can do that for you. He's like, you need to start seeing the best doctors. I'm tired of this because, you know, I've been progressively getting worse, and I'm the primary care provider for 2 children and a lot of stuff. And, you know, luckily, husband Kat, you know, has his traditionally houred job to work outside the home and stuff like that. But at current time, if I wasn't able to moderate, you know, because my job is rentals and admin stuff and a bunch of different random things, and caretaking our children, which is a job in itself for any stay-at-home mom knows that. So it's like I'm a stay-at-home mom, but then I also have work that I do, and then I have administrative tasks that I do. So I have a lot of stuff. And then when you include doctor's appointments and all that and homeschooling, it just adds on to it. So it's a lot of different jobs and hats that I wear. But he just became, you know, it's to a point where we both know that if I had a traditional job and I was expected to work from 9 to 5, it would be incredibly difficult. And I've had traditional jobs, and it has been incredibly difficult for me, because one of the things, and I don't know if it's a POTS thing or not, and I'm going to have to check it, it's a something else thing, is because I am so fatigued on a day-to-day basis when I do lay down to try to go to sleep, it equalizes my body, and then I basically recharge. I call it rebooting. I reboot. And so then I am spending hours and hours and hours and hours and hours trying to go to sleep. And so it's either, you know, I recognize that I've rebooted enough where sleep is not going to happen for an exceptionally long amount of time, and so I will get up and I will do things. And or I just lay there frustrated because I require sleep and I'm not getting it because I can't fall asleep, because now my body's like, no, we feel better and it's easier to operate now. ride. I'm super excited though. Flip you. I'm super excited because I am starting to get answers. And as I go through the milestones, because I am very suspect on a few different things, I'm going to start letting you guys know on different conditions, because as the only sees people for tilt tests and POTS and everything doctor that I saw today, he was super awesome. I really liked him. This typically happens to, his words, attractive, intelligent, thin women, and it typically starts in their teens, and it can continue with us until we're in our 45, 50 years old, or it's lifelong. And they used to think it was really rare. COVID has kind of brought it up, or I've had POTS way before it was a comorbid condition of POTS. But he's seen a lot more patients because it is now a comorbid of POTS. I don't know if COVID made my stuff worse or better or what. I've just been getting worse. But if people that didn't have it before now have it, you never know. So, there are a lot of women, young ladies, women, that probably have this, don't know what's going on, and when you're in the midst of an attack of it, it's very difficult. So how many people are told that they have, personality disorders, and they actually have a physical issue that's creating a mental instability? Because, for my instance, I have dysautonomia as well, and so that is a mess up on wiring between the brain and the head, and it messes with all of the things that you're not in complete control of. Blood pressure regulation, heart rate, all these different things. And so when your body is basically going into fight or flight all the time because of some type of miswiring, how many times are you blowing up at people because you're having a physical issue, and not because you're this person that's just going up and down and all around just because, mental disorders. Just food for thought. I'll listen to the music. You guys have a great night. Enjoy the ride. Yay, Baltimore City. Come on, let's play a disc.